call the meeting of the Recreation Commission to order at 5:31. So let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just a reminder, the meeting is being recorded. And the first order of business is make a motion to accept the minutes as written from our last meeting on October 7th.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from October 7th as written.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. The first order of business is a public hearing, and I'd like to open that up. We have Mike Radner here, and he's going to be going over the playground design, and then we're gonna just discuss any changes or updates that need to be done and where we're at. So if anyone wants to start discussion on that, or if maybe you want to start your presentation
Sure,
first.
if I can
Yeah.
take you through the slideshow.
Sure.
Yep.
And then we can have a friendly discussion. So thanks for having me here tonight. It's good to see people. As I look back on the project number, it tells me that we've been working on this for over 2 years in various forms. So I'm glad that it's gotten to this point. And as you're all aware, the town was awarded a grant to help with the construction. And so it's exciting for us to take it to the next stage. What we have is a plan that is in what we call design development stage, which is not a final design. It's kind of in the middle of being detailed. And so tonight is really important as and I understand that the town took a vote and the phrase was, "We're staying away from water."
Yep.
Because we had a splash pad in there, and as I assume everybody was here on the night where we had all the kids here, and people put their stickers on the things and what they liked, and I'll say the splash pad was a big, that was a big winner, which was exciting, but it is an expensive thing to do, and it takes a lot of water, and there's resources there and maintenance and so forth. So, I certainly understand that, but what it does is leave a portion of the budget. When we pull a splash pad out, we have a decent chunk of money still in the budget there. So it's kind of like, what do you want to do to fill that gap? And I have some suggestions for that. But so the plan is the same as that we had back in whenever we were here at the last earlier in the year, as I recall. And so this was the plan that came out of that meeting and was submitted to the grant making authority, and this is what they based their award on. And it has a number of play features, and I can sort of go through this if you want and see if I can get a better pointer about the little hand. That kind of works for most people. So we're in Town Hall, which is sort of off to the left side here, and the upper parking lot is in this area here, and this is basically the area that is within the fence line that the DPW has that paved lot, and they're storing trucks there and equipment and so forth. So that's where the playground is going to go. There's a wooded portion in the back, sort of in the side in the back here, which we're going to take advantage of. But the bulk of the budget and sort of the play events, the active play events, happen within this fence line, which goes around the site. Basically, as I'm tracing my hand along here, and then there's going to be a couple of gates, just a couple of swing gates that would allow people to access the back 40, as it were, the interior of the woods, which is a little more of a adventure play space. So the entrance to the playground is here. There's a gateway type element here, and this just has some seating here and benches and so forth. And then the way that the space is organized, that there's a paved path that goes around here in this location, and I call it a trike path. You know, you could ride your tricycle around there, or your big wheel, or whatever they're riding on these days, the scooters, right? And that sort of is the frame for the whole space, and within that paved path, we have all of our play events. So this was formerly, will be soon, no longer the splash pad, in that area right there, and that is just on a concrete pad, basically. And then in this orange area here, this is a poured, resilient, it's a rubberized surface that you see, basically what you had in the existing playground down here, same type of surface there, so it's a resilient safety surface. And then this sort of brown hatched area here is what you would think of as wood chips or mulch type area, but it is like a specialty safety surfacing that is handicap accessible as well. So everything around this and within this area is handicap accessible right now. And then we have a number of play events, which I can go through. The big event is the climber thing, and I have pictures of all these things. There's a spinner, the spring toys, the swings, the seesaw. We have this ring bridge, which is an upper body kind of thing, the rings. And then we have the little artificial hill where you climb up the boulders in the back and then slide down on the front. So there's a slide there as well. We have a grassed area here, which is just good to have lawn. You know, it's just soft space to play around on. And then a little picnic type area here where there's a couple of picnic tables in this area as well. And then, you know, just sort of this adventure area back here where it's kind of like romping through the woods. It's very informal play, okay? And then we are gonna have some shade in here. We need shade trees, very important in the playground to have shade. And there are also, you know, although we're getting away from water play, I would strongly encourage you to keep the water bubbler in there to have access to water. Yeah, so that is basically the existing program. That's a picture of the climber. Now, this is a particular manufacturer, Landscape Structures, which we work with, and we worked with them sort of preliminarily to come up with these play items. And because this is it's going to be a public bid, you have to provide 3 manufacturers. That's state law, so that they can the bidder can choose among those 3. You'll typically get whoever is the lowest price, and they'll provide those play structures. So we use this as the basis of design. Basically, all the play companies have something like this. So the way that it's specified is that there's certain play events, they call play events, that happen on these structures, and then whoever is the winning contractor, the winning bidder, when they submit their, you know, whichever manufacturer they choose, they have to provide those play events. They can't just choose something else. You know, they have to like specifically provide that thing. But this is a picture of what it would look like, and this is kind of like the biggest thing that we have. You know, the cargo net, the climbing, spaces interior to that, and kind of a neat looking structure. So it's basically metal and rope. And then the swings will be probably something that looks more like this. I recall the discussion that we had where we wanted to have at least one baby swing and a handicap accessible swing. So there'll be 2, you know, sort of standard swings and then a baby swing and a handicap accessible swing. Oh, I even wrote it here. The spinning, this was the spinners. This was just sort of different ways to have spinners. What I landed on was this, which is a little bit bigger structure. I saw this in action in a playground in Liverpool, New York. Anyone know where Liverpool is? It's outside of Syracuse. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's this big lakeside playground, and the kids were all over this. And we had chosen this earlier, and then I saw it in action. I was like, we made a really good choice. This is, so there's just this whole thing rotates, and there's multi-levels and stuff, so it's really kind of a neat thing. A lot of these things you can go on the websites and see videos of them. It's helpful. This is the seesaw. This company calls it a wee-saw. Kind of clever. Not the seesaws that we grew up with, a little bit different. The spring toys, good for the wee ones. I didn't point this out on the plan, the sand table here. It's a good handicap accessible type thing. It's just sort of informal sand, and this could also have water in it. You could have a sand one and a water one. The ring bridge, good for upper body development, really important. Kids today don't have a lot of opportunity to develop upper body strength, so always trying to get that in. And there's a nice representation of what the climbing hill and the slide would look like as well. So in lieu of the splash pad, we have, and I can go down to the budget, which is towards the end, but basically we have a $67,000 line item for the splash pad. And it's like, what goes in that space, or are there other items that you would like to see, sort of taking up that space in the budget? And I don't want it to be completely budget driven, but you got the money. It's like, we know that we're going to have it. So these were just some ideas that I had come up with. I think if we want to add just more play events, I would like to see a little more of the events for the little ones.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think right now we have a lot of things that go 6 feet in the air and 8 feet in the air, and the little ones. My daughter is 30 years old, but I still remember her getting to that, 2, 3, 4 years old, and she was very deliberate when she would climb on something. Like, she would eye it for a good 20 minutes and then decide that she was okay with it and she would get on. So, but I think having a little more, more of these types of things, and they don't take up a lot of space, and they're very, I don't want to say they're cheap, but they're not $30,000 climbing structures. They're like $5,000 little things that you can put in throughout the park, and maybe even group them in that area of where the splash pad is now on the plan. So, it's very sort of low-hanging fruit, if you will, and you could probably, for that money, get a whole bunch of stuff and put it in that area. Another option is to say, so right now this is a pour-in-place concrete. It's just a concrete pad for the splash pad, and obviously I don't think we want to have that remain. So the rubberized surface could get bigger in this area. The rubberized surface is wicked expensive, which is why we don't have the whole playground in rubberized surface. It's more expensive than like concrete pavers, doing decorative pavers. So that's why we have half of the mulch and half of the rubberized. But you could expand that here, or do a partial expansion. But it's sort of, it's a detail. Let's decide how. I wouldn't want to spend more money, like use all this money to do rubberized surface. I'd rather get a little more value out of it and do some more things. Something like a basketball hoop, and this is adjustable, so you can put it down, bring it down for the little ones. I don't think we want something up here because we're not trying to attract teenagers per se. So this is a possibility that could be, and that actually could, live somewhere in this zone in here, and we just keep this as concrete, or it could become even asphalt. It's not a basketball court, it's just, opportunity to throw the ball into the hoop. So that's an idea. I will just bring this out. This is not a splash pad, but they do have, as a cooling element, they have these misters. So it takes up a very, very small fraction of the water that would be used on a splash pad. So it's not a water consumption issue. It's just a question of, do you want to have I'm keeping it in the discussion. And if it's a flat no, then it's a flat no, but I thought I would put it out there. And then, other types of shade structures. Ironically, this picture is taken at a time where it doesn't provide much shade. It's kind of a little thing. I think I like trees better. Or other types of shade structures you can do, kind of like a picnic pavilion type thing, or, these are kind of a little more creative. It's a little more fun design, this type of design here, or some kind of pergola, something like that. Or do we want to sort of do more like a nicer gateway treatment into the entry to the park? Doesn't add a lot of play value, but it is something, that I think it adds a little decorative element to the space as well. And then, I'm throwing this in here in case we want to hone in on any of the particular items, but the splash pad line item here, you can't see it says 67,000 there. And that includes the surface. It's the surface, the equipment. We had a number for sanitary sewer connection, and that would go away as well. But I left, the like a water fountain or a bubbler or something is up in the utilities portion of the budget. And I do recommend, I think it's a good idea to have the water and shade, really good things. So that's the presentation. I can go back up here and sort of, so we want to kind of focus on what you want to see there, but and then I'll just say, our next step, once we kind of finalize this program and the budget, we will go right into contract documents. We want to get there quickly. Are we ready to go to bid? Like, as soon as this is ready, we're going to go to bid early next year? Is this kind of the timeline that we're thinking about? Breaking ground as early as possible in the spring? Like, let's
Yeah, it'd be real fast.
go real fast.
Basically.
I understand. I mean, I feel bad that we had all these kids in here. I was like, oh, it's going to be another year until they can climb on these things, so they're taller. But
I have a
So,
question
yes.
about doing more little kid things. Would you have to bring the rubberized flooring over anyways, like if it was under those?
we would need the safety surface has to be
Some
there.
sort
So
of
whether it's a
safety
rubberized surface or just the mulch is fine.
Okay,
Either one, or a combination of the two.
okay. And what about a basketball court? Like, what kind of coverage?
It needs to
would
be
you put in?
paved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, we could, just go back to the plan. Basketball, we can find space for it. It needs a little bit of space around it, obviously, but it's not like there's pickup games or things. It's really for the little kids.
Yep.
So, if the desire is to have the basketball hoop and some more play events, I think we can do both.
Okay.
I think we
I was
can
just-
create the space.
Yeah, I was just thinking like younger kids and then maybe kids in the 11, 12, 13 range might be more interested in basketball. I don't.
Yeah, so we should talk about that, the age range of this, and, I think of it as 6 months to 12 years.
Yeah.
Is kind of like, so that's a lot. I mean, that encompasses a wide range, but, yes, babies can be in the playground for sure. I think once you get into middle school,
Yeah.
it starts to be, I think they're looking for a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
So my recollection of the meeting was that weren't really targeting that age group with this design.
Yep.
So I would think carefully about doing that.
Right.
And, what's going to be attractive to them. And maybe just having the basketball hoop itself is too much of a attraction. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
If I can.
Yep.
I think that we need more toddler things. Because I think people like to bring their their young kids to the playground to start them off, like you said,
Yeah,
and interacting.
because you can have a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Right, and it's.
Have them in the same
And
place.
so when my question about the swings is it only one of those swings? Like one set? Like, and I guess I'm thinking of what we used to have, and the swings
Mhm.
were always full. So I'm concerned about the number of swings that we have. So I'm just curious.
So it's 4 swings
4 swings.
right now.
Really three, I guess one's like a baby toddler swing.
Right,
So one's handicap accessible, one's a baby or toddler swing, and then
Yes.
there's 2 for kids that are 3 and up.
So that might be something else we want to consider, is having a little bit larger swing
Yeah.
area.
swings are super popular.
Mhm.
Swings take up a lot of space.
Right,
The issue with the swings is that each of these, it's hard to see on this, but there's these lines that go around each of these play events. That's
Yeah.
the full zone, and it's generally like 6 feet from the edge of the structure. So the lines can't cross. So the swings, you jump off the swing and it go down there. So the swings tend to have a very large
Yeah,
fall zone around them. So,
there has to be clearance in front and behind it.
Right.
right, a lot of clearance in front and behind. Correct.
So.
So if it gets bigger, it starts to invade on some other things. Not that we can't shift things around, but
Well, you said the spring toys are like younger kids. I know older kids go on them too, but they're designed for the younger
Yes.
kids. So you could, in theory, make that area that the splash pad was where it was going to go. You could make that like a toddler section, because there's benches around where
yeah,
parents.
I mean,
could
that
go.
was
And I know we'd have to
that was
change
my
the-
thought.
Change but I'd go with the cheaper.
Yeah, and maybe the spring toys start to move into this space
Right, and then
a little
we have
bit,
more
and then we can
clearance for swings.
reconfigure if we wanted to add another bay of swings. It's it's going to come out to here. So
Just a thought.
we just need to
Yeah. That sounds
play
good.
with the Rubik's cube of all the different the Tetris or the
I just like the idea of the toddler area being where there's benches, because I think,
And have it being like a defined area,
Yeah,
like
Right.
this is the area for kids under 5.
A little bit
and
separate.
the area for
Right.
kids over 5.
connected, but this is the zone
right,
over here,
so you
and
could
that's
still watch your 8 or 10-year-old, but the benches are there.
Yeah.
right.
That's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
And there are benches. We put benches kind of all around the outside of this path here. We've got one here. We've got one here, and we've got 2. Sorry. 2 over here.
Another question I have, if I could.
Yeah.
This is the design of it. Are any, like, security cameras incorporated into this, or could it be, just, not to watch but more as to
Hours.
after hours, and so that there is a security camera in case there's any vandalism or anything. Let's hope that
Well-
nobody would ever,
And especially in that back part, the nature walk,
yeah.
that's a big concern of a lot
Is that
of people.
anything
No.
that
Is that,
we-
We don't have anything in there
could we?
for that now.
Again,
Yeah.
just.
Just genuine question: is there something on police headquarters is here, right? Is there a
Yeah,
camera that
something facing that?
faces
I
out
don't know.
into that
No.
area?
Unfortunately, they face this way, that way.
I'm wondering
Because I
if one
was
could be
asked this
installed on the
by
building that
someone.
just
Put it
faces the
that way,
playground.
yeah.
I was asked by public safety, we'll say, as to if there could be a couple cameras out there, just for,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
security is not, that's not my
no. that's
thing,
fine.
so I would need to consult with somebody or we would get a vendor, I guess, to provide advice on that. Everything's wireless now, so,
Mm-hmm.
but they need power, I would assume.
Are there any lights on the back part of
I
that?
was gonna say, are there any solar lights on this playground?
There's no lighting.
Okay, perfect.
And then what about things that I was thinking of, like trash cans and things like that? Would we have to add those in after, or are they?
No, we would
incorporated?
have, I don't think they're shown on here, but we add them as a matter of course.
Okay.
We'll have, tell us how many
Yeah.
you think you need.
Okay.
Lots.
2 or 3?
I'd say 3, like one in the front, one in the middle, one in the
2.
back. You know what I mean? So that maybe people get their trash in it.
Right. I wouldn't go more than 3,
No.
because you're inviting things.
And,
Yes.
and your DPW is going to maintain the park?
I would say our building and grounds
Yeah.
probably
Or
is going to,
building.
going to. But, yeah, there. That's my understanding.
So they'll empty their trash cans?
Yes. They do it at our town beach. I know he's down there morning and afternoon,
Mhm.
so it'll just get into the rotation.
And then, what about signage? I was curious if some of the money that's left over should be held back for things like that.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. One more.
So we have 6 bench, we have 2, trash, picnic tables, but I put a line item of 2,500 for signage,
Okay.
so it's just,
And that just goes on the front of the playground?
well, I mean, what do we want, you know, other than welcome to the Dudley
No, I was just
playground,
thinking,
or
like,
you don't have
both
like
locations,
rules,
both
or,
Entryways,
I'm sorry?
the back entrance and the front entrance, I was just wondering.
The back entrance to into the woods?
No,
You mean
like,
that?
yeah, where you would drive in.
Oh, you mean like stating that there's a playground there? I get it. Like a little sign, playground with an arrow pointing, or just something to that effect. I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Seesaw, right?
I mean, I'm sure you can see it from the road, so I guess it's not a big deal, but,
I think everyone will know.
yeah, everyone will know by then.
Everyone in town is gonna know. Do you really need that kind of wayfinding? I'm not sure.
No, I guess not.
But you might want to think about something that's at the entrance, you know,
Yeah.
welcome to the sign, here are the rules, no spitting,
Okay.
you know.
Rules and hours.
Yeah.
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 And we can come up with something. Did you have something on the existing playground, or rule, a sign or something that talks about it?
don't
There
think
was
so.
something, I think.
If not, I can do, you know, I'll look at what other towns have done. We have something, I'm sure.
Okay. So we're thinking younger kid equipment, and are we good with, whatever flooring is the most cost efficient, or, yeah, okay,
Absolutely. I think.
yep.
So I mean, what kind of material is underneath the swings right now in the design?
The mulch.
Okay. Well, I was kind of thinking if we're gonna make that pit, that right now concrete area for the little kids always stick mulch in their mouths.
True.
So do we wanna make like the big kid area all mulch and do the rubberized surface for the little kid area? To try and keep, I mean, granted, little kids are gonna go into the big kid area and it's inevitable, but I mean, just to try and minimize both the cost of the rubberized surface and all the little kids who just instinctively put that in their mouths constantly.
Yeah, so let's focus on keeping the rubberized under the little kid area.
Wherever the younger kid area is gonna be.
And we could just extend it more anyway, and just keep it where it is now too, and just have less
Yeah, I want to
Last
look
thing.
carefully at the numbers.
Yeah, I don't want it
On
to
that?
like, blow the cost out of the
Yeah.
water, you know,
Exactly.
just for that.
That's why I'd rather see more mulch with the bigger kids who,
Yeah.
at least most of the time, listen when you say stop throwing the mulch or stop putting it in your mouth. And potentially a smaller, more isolated area for the rubberized, which will help on costs.
Would it affect, it's not gonna affect if the mulch went under the embankment slide or the spinner or climber, right?
That should, oops. This really should be the rubberized.
Okay,
Where's your little hand?
around the embankment slide.
Yeah, because it's too steep. It's not, mulch is not gonna stay on that slope. Needs to be pretty solid. Was I talking to you?
Apparently.
Siri? Sorry.
She's nosy.
They're always listening.
Right.
Yeah, so let me, we'll take a look at that. I got the assignment.
And keeping in mind maintenance and replacement.
Mhm.
Yeah, the mulch needs to be raked, occasionally replenished.
How often?
So
would
that's
you-
the trade-off.
How often would you say it has to be replenished? Just curious. I'm not gonna hold you to it.
If you talk to
like 3 years
If you
out of
talk
it?
to the playground people, they say you should go in every spring and rake it, and it's supplement. You're not gonna,
Yeah,
you don't
no,
replace all of it.
right.
You come in with one more load and you spread it, because the stuff, you can imagine when somebody jumps off a swing and
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
the divots. So,
Could you go back to the price list for a moment, to the mulch? Just curious.
let's see. So the Fibar, which is a brand name,
Yep.
that's $1.50 a square foot versus $35 a square foot for the rubber. So we've got $119,000 right now for rubberized surface and $6,000 for fiber. So it's a big impact.
Yep. So can we try to keep the rubber surface the same price? Like that we have in this now? Do you know what I mean? But just
Mhm.
shifting it around and.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I was
Just-
saying, try and shift it to
We'll
where
shift-
we really
yeah,
need
we'll-
it, and
we'll-
then just add more mulch where we don't really need it.
Got it.
And then we'll see what, go from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, these are this year's prices.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any comments before I open it up to public discussion?
I just have a question, in terms of the equipment available,
Mhm.
do they have like musical equipment, like the steel drums that put in, or like the big xylophones?
So they do have that.
Those are so popular at every park that I've ever gone to, kids are always swarming over all those
Yeah,
things.
my question to you is that because there are houses around this, is it gonna be just peals of childish laughter are one thing, but banging on drums is maybe not welcome?
They're not that
They're
loud.
not that bad.
I think they purposely mute them so they're like,
I love
In
this
the air.
sound, adding an element of sound. I love it. I was a little bit hesitant to put it in there, but you tell me.
but it's something that is available if,
There's all kinds.
Is there a certain decibel?
Take your pick. I mean, here's the bongos, and here's the xylophone chimes or whatever.
Kind of neat.
You're thinking about it. Thinking about it?
Well, how loud are those bongos? Not that bad, are they? Hmm.
The way I see it is that they're either gonna hit an instrument or they're gonna find something loud and hard to bang on the posts of whatever structure they're playing on anyway. If they have a directed place to play on it, they may not bang the poles and bars they're not supposed to.
They're gonna be parents there, right?
Yeah.
So either way, it's gonna be loud. I mean,
I mean, it's not gonna be all night long anyway, right?
That is true.
not before 8 AM, is it? You know? Not gonna open up
That
at
is true.
6.
Don't forget, they're gonna be out of towns people there too. Might not respect certain things as much as others.
Well,
Okay.
So yes, a couple of, maybe two
Yeah, let's.
things like these that have,
Let's make sure that nobody in the public has any comments or anything before we, I guess, make a final decision.
Yeah.
So I would open it up to anybody who wants to make a comment or suggestion. Okay. That was easy.
Okay.
I see that you have also a discussion about Army National Guard, so I don't know if that was,
Oh, yeah, if you wanna, we can move on to that if you'd like, but should probably close the public
Yeah.
hearing first.
I'll add one more thing.
Sure.
Is that the one idea that I had was on this area back here. To me, that's like a great Eagle Scout or scouting project. I've worked in towns before where like somebody was going for Eagle Scout and they said, oh, this is like, I'm gonna do this, and they'll just like build, you know, cutting trails and putting down mulch and things like that for trails, and is a really good, you know, save on some cost, obviously, and it's a great volunteer effort.
What is the cost of the back part?
It's not a lot, but you know, I quite honestly, I don't know how to price it. I'm not that,
Yeah,
you know, I threw a budget number in there. I probably threw $10,000 or $15,000 for that
it's
aspect
just
of
like
it.
clearing trails and.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's cutting the little bit of vegetation, you know, and we're not taking out big trees there. We're basically gonna work within whatever's there. It's not meant to be a big disturbance.
Yeah, okay.
And even that little route that I'm showing, like, I don't know if that's the right route. You gotta kinda get back there, and we'll stake it out when we're
Yeah.
really getting started on this.
Okay,
But, you know, doing a wood chip path and hanging a hammock between the two good trees, things like that, and even this idea of the platform, building a platform, that's a great scouting project right there.
okay. I think that was kind of what the comment was, that we can move on to this agenda, the next agenda item. As long as everybody's good, I'll just close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing at 6:10.
Second?
Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, okay. So yeah, just moving to the next agenda item was the Army National Guard suggestion from Jeffrey Padini. He thought that maybe they could help us with lowering some of the costs of building. I did make an initial email to them, but I haven't heard back, and I guess if you wanna give your thoughts on that, that would be awesome.
Never having done anything like that or worked with the National Guard,
Yeah.
I don't have any advice.
It would essentially just be like, what you were suggesting, that if they
Yeah.
wanted to lower some of the costs for the
I mean,
trails or whatever.
that might be a good conduit to find volunteers. I don't know
True.
that the National Guard is,
I would
what
think-
their process would be to sort of officially be involved in this, but
Yeah.
might be a good way to find people that might
True.
And I would
do some of the work.
think it's difficult because like a lot of the stuff has to go out for bid due to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Once you go to bid, once the bid is awarded on this, the contractor owns the site,
Correct.
True, okay.
and they're gonna do the work.
Yep,
Due to procurement laws, that's the word I was looking for, procurement.
But if we decided, if you decided that you wanted to get some volunteer labor to do that back portion with those items back there, that's like an easy, like I would just draw the limit of work at the fence line and say,
Yeah.
Mr. Contractor, you're not going back there,
okay,
or Ms. Contractor.
okay.
So should we take a vote and put it in a motion as to what we'd like to see in the new plan? Just to have it
Yeah,
official.
If you're confident.
Okay, so I'll make a
you'll make a
motion to do away with the splash pad, in place of add a toddler area, including musical play areas, and any of those that you showed us, the little toddler geared.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we'll resubmit a final plan for your
Correct.
approval. so.
Correct. And changing around the play area, the.
Surfacing.
Surface, thank you. And adding an additional trash can.
Cause we only had two?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I missing anything? So that'll be to be on the new, next plan to be submitted.
Is there a second?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, so what's the next steps? You'll finish the plan?
We're
and-
gonna go back to the drawing table.
Yeah, okay.
How long do you think it will take? Just trying to plan. I'm not gonna, again, never holding you to it. I just like to.
No, No, we're
I'm
as
trying to get
anxious,
through this,
we're as
right.
anxious as you are.
Yeah,
So, the issue is now coming up with holiday vacation
Yes.
schedules, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it would be, irresponsible for me to promise anything before the end of the year,
that's no problem.
now on December 3rd.
Yeah, but you would say
Um,
like in January? Sometime?
Early January, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, and I think that, I think that should be fine, and we're gonna take this basically as far as we can in the next phase of the design, so, when we come back and see you again, or we resubmit the plans for your review, we're at, 95%.
perfect.
And then you can comment on anything that we've done, and we can just finalize it. Who would we work with in the town for procurement? Who puts out the bid package?
Procurement Officer Jonathan Ruda.
Yes. Town administrator,
Is also the procurement?
yes, he is.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can talk with him ahead of time just to make sure that everything is kind of lined up for that. Boilerplate contract documents and all that kind of stuff. Insurance requirements, that's all.
Great.
You guys are easy.
Thank you very much for being able to come.
Thank you. I don't know if you don't feel like you have to stick around, because we're gonna talk about events and stuff.
I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you like that?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Madam Chair, could I ask that we take item C before we go
Yeah,
into the
that's a
others?
good
Just
idea.
where we have
Yep.
agricultural here.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about a farmer's market. And we have some members of the agricultural committee here, so if you want to come up and talk it out.
It is, hold on, I'm typing.
You have to
I'm
type and
glad-
talk.
I will, hold on.
Accept it tonight.
Hold on, you're so mean. I didn't
Thank you
recognize
so
it.
much again.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it, and the flexibility.
Enjoy your holidays.
Glad we,
Yeah.
thanks, you too.
Careful in the snow.
Yeah, I hear it's snowing out.
Stop that.
What, right now?
Yeah.
Right now?
Hi.
not snowing
But
when I
my
came in.
My husband texted me, and he said it's snowing.
Tomorrow night.
Thought it was
Coming in.
supposed to be tomorrow.
I'm gonna go.
Some tonight too.
Just have to introduce-
Till about 8 or
introduce
9.
myself.
Oh. Okay, would you like to introduce yourselves and?
Sure. I'm Linda Lorkevich. I'm the chairwoman for the Agricultural Commission. And
I'm Chrisanne Kepke, Walnut Lane Farm,
who's our
Me.
vice chair?
Vice Chair.
Okay, so Roberta, I had reached out, I had some thoughts about a farmer's market. So I have a friend who lives in town next door, won't say which one, and had, just in chatting, said that they had run a farmer's market for many years. And it just got to be really big. They did all the work, and it was a really big thing, but then it kind of got a little too political. So it got kind of ugly, and I was like, well, we don't have one, do we? So I had asked Jen, and she said, not in a long time, I think, right? So I was just wondering, I know it's December, so it's a little bit early, but from the sounds of it, it sounds like something that's very time consuming. So I didn't know what your thoughts were, if you ladies thought that it might be something that we could do, especially now where we have this potential new playground. We might have an area where we could set up tables, or even at the Grange. So I just figured we could maybe just start a discussion. If it's no, it's no, but if it's yes, then that makes me happy.
Okay, we have weighed the options
Uh-huh.
of possibly doing one from the Ag Commission. But there is an awful lot that's entailed with
Yeah.
running a farmer's market. It's not just, oh, we're gonna have a couple people come in with their vegetables. You can't do that. You have to have somebody on site that's going to be the market manager. There has to be a set time and day, and it has to be consecutive, you know, so you can't just do like a one-off. And it has to be produce from farmers. And I had sent you some documentation from MDR, and that outlines all the requirements
Okay.
from the state that you would need. Another thing too is liability insurance. Where you're going to hold this, do they have liability to cover products? And are the farmers going to be covering products that they're selling? Somebody gets hurt walking on the property, who's covering that? So, I mean, there's a lot entailed, not just, oh, I'm gonna have a couple tables set up and
Yeah,
have
okay.
Bob's Tomatoes show up, you know, and this one here sells turnips, you know.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. And you've had experience with farmers markets.
Yeah, so I sell at 2 farmers markets every year. We've been at Sturbridge since it started, which is probably 4 or 5 years ago. A weekly market on the common there. And then I've done the Shrewsbury market in the past, and last year I tried the Charlton market too. I sort of, from the farmer side, if we're gonna dedicate the time to go to a market and put somebody there and all of those things, there has to be the customer base there. Everybody thinks it sounds fabulous. Oh, I wish we had a farmer's market, you know? But then they have to commit to come and buy every week or every couple of weeks or whatever. And if there's not enough traffic, then it's not worth the farmers going, and then it
Yeah.
sort of starts to spiral
Right.
the other way. So it's just there are a lot of considerations about doing it.
Right, and it's not something that we could tie into, like, at the Grange when they have an event, or I'm just trying to, again, brainstorm and ask questions.
So
I'm
we
sure
did
it's difficult, but.
2 years ago? 3
Yeah,
years?
we did
3 years ago?
the Ag Day,
Yeah,
where
3 years ago
we had
at
a
the
couple
Grange.
of farmers that had some produce, and that was through us, through the Ag Commission, but it wasn't set up as a farmer's market.
Okay.
It was promoting agriculture in the town.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on the town common too, so.
So I sell
So-
frozen meat, and if people don't, like Worcester has a farmer's market on the common during the middle of the day on a weekday, and it's supposed to be for like people to come out on their lunch break
Yeah.
and shop but nobody's shopping for frozen meat on their lunch break that they're gonna haul around with them for the rest of the day or keep frozen or whatever, you know, it's just, it's not practical. So I sort of feel like from the farmer side, there's an abundance of farmers markets already, that it's already sort of a saturated market, and people can only go to so many, and they can only support so many.
Right.
So I think if we, you know, somehow, I'm not sure what direction Charlton's gonna go next year, because this year was the second year that they ran it, right there on the town common on a Wednesday afternoon / evening, and it was not as well attended this year as it was last year.
And there
So-
were more food vendor trucks versus
Oh, yeah.
people selling produce and being a true farmer's market.
If the pizza
And-
guy wasn't there, nobody would stop.
Yeah.
It's great
And that-
pizza, but still.
That seems to be the way a lot of the farmers markets end up going, to being more like a craft fair than an actual selling produce, selling eggs, selling meat, you know, a true farmer's market. And there are a lot of people around that have like their own backyard gardens. So in Webster and Dudley and Charlton and around the area, you know, so they're really not interested in paying the price either for a farmer's market vegetable than if they can get it at the store. And it says locally grown. So there's pros and cons to them.
Yeah.
And we're small and we can't commit somebody to be at an event, to be the manager every single weekend or whatever. Because we are working farmers too.
How many active farms are there in Dudley?
Depends on what you consider a farm.
Yeah.
What would you consider a farm as the agricultural commission?
I would consider it, me personally, not speaking for the Ag Commission, somebody that makes their living from agriculture. So there are probably two.
How about the farms in town that people can go and buy product from?
Probably 3. If you include flowers, then maybe 4
Yeah.
or 5.
Yeah, if you're including
6.
flowers.
Gatsky's vegetables. I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's probably maybe a half dozen.
Are they listed on your website?
Not
Yes.
all of them.
Not Lynette's Flowers, I don't think. Yes, they are, Armstrong Acres, that's listed on there. So whatever farms, we also include like riding stables, like Whippoorwill.
Yes.
We include them on our website because they are a farm. Pleasant View, because he sells meat and also hay. Walnut Lane,
Farmer Tim's.
Farmer Tim's, he's the big CSA in town. So we do have some active farms. And then there's a lot of farms that just produce hay and sell it off to people who have horses or other farms that need the hay. And that seems to be the biggest crop around.
Okay.
And it's hard to get people to farm too, because it is hard work and it's time consuming. You know, I mean, if we keep trying to get people to come to town to farm,
We have the most
Commitment,
the most
time, and
APR
money.
grant in the state.
what's that?
It's commitment, time,
And money.
and if that's a
Equipment
full-time
is-
thing, you've gotta be
Oh, yeah.
making money, or someone else has to be bringing money in for you.
Because I mean, one part breaks on your equipment and you're talking hundreds of dollars for a little
Gotta lay
part
it
like
back,
this
too.
big and,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, understand that good. Co-ops, any co-ops around?
I don't
I
think
know
so.
when I go out west, there are a lot, or a couple,
Like out west in the western part of the state.
yeah.
Yeah, like Northampton.
Yep,
Uh,
Holyoke, Chicopee, even going up towards Stockbridge.
yeah. There are different options here, but I don't think any in central Mass. There used to be one in the northern part of the county, but I'm not sure if they're even still.
Not
Yeah,
in
in
East Road,
existence.
it just,
A lot of them just died out, which is sad. You know, I mean, the next generation coming up, they seen what their father and their grandfather went through and they don't want to do it. You know, so, but we're still trying to promote agriculture in the town.
good, thank you.
So we're doing a little bit here and there.
Do you think that, moving away from the farmer's market just a little bit, sorry.
we're gonna be doing, for the first time, the Recreation Commission, I believe, is taking over the bike rodeo, which previously was done
Yeah.
by the Board of Health. Could we have the Ag Commission there? This is where we have all young children, to maybe help educate, and I know you're at all the events, but this, they might have a little more one-on-one time with you, and to help educate the parents.
Yeah,
yeah.
we
And-
could do something like that, work with you
Because we
like that.
definitely wanna help the
Because-
farms in the area,
Yeah,
you know.
and even just get people interested in planting their own
Yes.
produce in like containers or patios, or if you
Or-
don't have a lot of space.
Or
you know?
even letting them know, because I know what you sell, what different places sell, but I don't think a lot of people do know.
Well, part of
And-
that's our own fault. I'm a terrible,
That-
like Facebook marketer, like I'm just, you know.
But no, but that's fine, but this would be a nice.
Another avenue.
An
Yeah.
avenue, like hand out, look, you can get all these things from all these people, we wanna definitely help our own town.
Yeah, well, when we do like the Strawberry Festival and the Apple Festival, we always have a table with literature, and it has our pamphlet that has, okay, here's the farms and stuff, our little brochure that we have, and it has a little map of where all these places are. So we do have that, and we have other stuff from the state, like on the lantern, the lantern.
Well, Asian
moth.
longhorn beetle.
And the Asian longhorn beetle, and any other invasive species of plants or stuff that might be coming into the area. So we do have a lot of informative information like that. And we are planning on doing a reading day with one of the grades. I'm not sure which one it is, but we've already ordered some books and to hand out to the kids. So that's an upcoming thing that we're gonna be doing in the springtime. So we're trying to come up with different ideas too.
Well, and that's,
Yeah.
we'd like to, you know, at least
Yeah.
I can, I'm
Even
sorry.
the brochures on the beetles, you know, the insects, I mean, you can leave them some here at the Board of Health, we can put them in the lobby, whatever.
Yeah.
Anything to
I
help,
don't know how much more I have left. I'll
Yeah.
have to get some more.
yeah,
And then we have a bunch of stuff to promote the dairy council and,
yeah.
you
And I
know.
just think, a lot of, younger families,
Mhm.
or like people with young kids, are looking to eat better than, like, my generation, we'll say. So, and I think, you know, at the bike rodeo, we're promoting safety about everything, so I think it's a good avenue.
When is
and-
that gonna be?
Oh,
Oh,
shoot,
did
hold on.
June, it's in June, how's that?
Oh, it's the Thursday after the Strawberry Festival.
So the fourth Thursday in June.
Yes, we always do it because we, we'll have to do it
The
again. We
26th,
advertise and remind people the week
That's
before
true.
the Strawberry Festival, and we found that worked really good.
And this year, for the first time, we tried, we gave away strawberry
You
plants.
did, I remember, yep,
And those were a big hit.
yep,
Everybody won one.
yep.
Oh, yeah. And I just think it would be nice to, you know, and that, I like, put a nice, and make, we can even put it in our little bag if you want, at the
Oh,
bike
yeah.
rodeo,
Yeah.
of,
Same-
make sure
yeah.
that everybody gets one of those that, look, we sell this, look, go here for this, or go, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think that's great,
Yeah, and we do have a webpage that we share with the Grange. It's called dudleyfarmer.com. And I update it when we have events coming, or like the plant sale, that's our big event in May,
right.
the plant hop. And that usually goes over pretty well too.
Oh, we would be happy to work with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think your table was next to the Board of Health's table at the Strawberry Festival. Cause I remember like, I want a strawberry plant, they were all gone. They were gone, but.
They went fast.
Yeah, they did, they did. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
so,
And they were gone in like no time. It's the first time we did it, so we didn't know how many to
You never
get.
know,
And,
yeah.
you know, if people were gonna be really interested, and
right.
it went over very well. So, and then we give away seeds too. So, we're trying to get people garden.
Exactly. So, you know,
Grow
even though
things.
the farmer's market isn't something that, you know, will work, there are other ways that we could work together to spread the word.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll definitely keep you posted when we have our bike rodeo and any other events.
That'll be
When we
good.
plan, yeah.
And if we have anything else, usually we try to build in with someone else too. Because if we just did it, you know, on your own, you might not get that many people.
It's hard.
It is.
And I think with the direction we're going with the playground, that's gonna give us an area and eventually another area to be able to have some things too, you know, and even if it's a class on planting something and have it outside and, you know, just to,
Yeah.
in the future, those are things that
And,
I think we're all hoping to work towards.
yeah, and
we
we've
also-
actually done a canning class too.
I went to that. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yep, we did.
We did.
We
yeah.
did. Yep, I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah.
And then, last spring, we sponsored some herbal remedy classes at the library.
Dudley.
And those were a big hit,
Yeah.
so.
Couldn't we
And-
also incorporate the locations of the local farms on the townwide yard sale?
Absolutely.
And kind of
that's a good
advertise
idea.
them, like, on the side, like, check out shop local, shop fresh flowers, things like that we
yeah.
can include on the townwide yard
We
sale.
could do that.
Master
Very good.
address list.
Yeah, because we did our first townwide yard sale last year, and we're going to be doing another one this year. And it's something just to bring people into town.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And if we
That's-
have, yeah,
Especially with how many people come from out of town to yard sales, it at least gets you guys the notice and the,
And-
hey, we're gonna drive right by it anyway, let's stop for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I have some stuff to yard sale.
excellent, excellent.
While you're
Right.
here, buy some meat.
Since you're here.
Which is very good, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank
So
you.
that's-
So we don't wanna be a
actually-
wet blanket on the farmer's
No.
market thing, but.
No,
No,
but
it's, again, I really didn't know from, other than, it sounded like it was a ton of work, but I didn't realize that you need somebody every week to kind of be the person in charge, so, I appreciate you coming out tonight. You could have just answered my question in an email, I'm sorry, but I do
That's
Thank you for
appreciate
moving
it.
it up the agenda too.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you for
Absolutely.
sitting down through our playground, we appreciate that. But,
No
problem. Gives us an opportunity that we can work together in the future.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Love
we
it.
would be definitely interested in it, because we're always looking for new ideas, how to get the word out with agriculture. You know, and especially where there is so much land in Dudley.
Partnering with recreation is a great way to go.
Yes,
See, that was
Yes.
the first step.
That's
Yep.
right.
excellent.
Thank you for reaching
Thank you
out.
so much.
Yes, thank you.
Good night.
Drive safe in the snow.
Yeah. If there's snow.
It wasn't too bad when I came in.
I just have to worry about going down the stairs.
Oh, I know.
The elevator.
Yeah.
The elevator was working.
the button, I can have.
I know, it was working at 4 o'clock, but when I came back
Anybody
at
told them?
4:45, it's not working.
Anybody told?
It may or may not be fixed.
It may or may
I've been working on it.
So who wants to take a chance?
That's it. Who wants to go in it when we're not sure?
I'll be walking up the stairs.
What's that banging?
Not a
Oh, it's
fan of
just
elevators.
Linda.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to give a quick update on the spectacular and the Santa parade?
Sure. So we had the spectacular back at the end of October. It was an incredible turnout. We went through 100 hot dogs and buns, which were graciously donated by Park and Shop. By 4:30, we were out.
Yep. Oh, wow.
So I definitely think we need to go to 200 next year because, I mean, by 4:30, we were wiped out. We went through 210 s'mores.
Oh my God.
Yep. We had a very good turnout. The library was there. It was excellent, working with them this year. They really added a lot. The police were there, handing out candy. The safe house was there. Maybe if everybody could brainstorm on some other things. We had like 5 games. Dudley Women's Club came and volunteered. It was great. The assistant town administrator was there helping out. I'm not gonna say her name. Jana?
Yeah, that's fine.
Jana, sorry. I never know how to say it and I apologize. She came and helped out, so did, oh gosh, Marengo, from Shepherd Hill. I can't think of her first name, I apologize. She came, I did thank everybody in, all this, but it was
did.
great. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
We had a good turnout, everybody had fun, and, unfortunately, one of the things I wanna change for next year is we put 4 to 6. I wanna put 4 till the dogs are gone, because by 10 of 6, everyone had left, like, all the people were gone. And we were starting to pick up, and a woman came at 10 of 6 and wanted to know where everything was and everything, and we apologized and said, you know, we were picking up because everybody had left, and so I just wanna put, starts at 4 till the hot dogs are gone, so that nobody comes and is upset at 10 of 6, quarter of 6, that everything's gone and we were picking up, because everybody had cleared out.
Were they upset
They were,
Yeah.
they were upset.
or disappointed?
Yeah.
Well, it was that her child was going to be disappointed because she had gotten dressed. And we apologized. And, you know, explained, and I apologized we literally had nothing left. Like, there was, the s'mores went, the hot dogs went, I mean, we were wiped out. I apologized. She could have gotten there at 5 o'clock, and
We still would have run out.
you know, so I just to save any disappointment in the future, we'll put starts at 4 until, you know, no real end time. I don't wanna lock us into, you know, because if everything's gone by 5:30 and people, and again, it's when the people had all cleared out, you're like, okay, we're out of food, we're out of people, we're out of everything, you know what I mean? So,
Be careful with that. Because I would rather you say 4 to 6 and actually manage the situation, make sure you're open till 6 and have stuff, rather than say till something's out, which no one knows, so they're gonna say, why even bother?
right.
Right.
That's why it's a,
You gotta manage it.
What about if you started later but ended earlier? I mean, ended the same time but started a little later? Because I think it was hard for, as a parent, the library thing started at 3.
Right.
First of all, the kids aren't even out of school
No.
until
Yep.
3:15.
Right.
So
Well,
there's
they
only
get
like
home.
little
And
kids
some of
there.
them aren't even off the bus till
Yeah.
almost 4.
right.
Yeah.
So perhaps if we started the library at 4 and do the parade like 4:45, they start lining up for it so that they're up here for 5,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
And at
we go
5
to
to 6, and then if we end up going later than 6, because there's still a
that's
huge crowd,
fine.
we stay later, but that way there, we're not
I just, yeah,
out within a half an hour of starting.
Yeah.
thank you. I just was looking for, you know, 5.
Yeah, I thought of that. The little kids, they don't get home till 3:15 off the bus.
Well, no, they don't,
You know?
some of them don't even leave the school till 3:15
Yeah.
when they're taking the bus.
Right.
They're not off the bus till 3:30,
the-
3:45.
So
Even
that,
the-
but
yeah.
besides.
Middle school is home by 3, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, middle school gets out early, the elementary schools, they
Yeah.
get out. The parent pickup starts at 2:55, but the buses don't actually start picking up till 3:05, and then some of them are still picking up at 3:15.
Yeah.
Here, I don't need it.
Thank you. So if that sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would work better.
Thank you. Okay, but besides that, I thought it went very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kids are happy, lots of costumes, excellent.
Yeah.
So the Santa Parade was on Saturday, and we left the town hall at 12, and we got back roughly about 3:30. It was about 3.5 hours. We had, it was a good time. There were lots of people out. I did see, unfortunately, some unhappy people on Facebook. That we didn't go down their streets and everything, so, and I just will, so when we're up there on the top of the fire truck, we're watching the streets, we're watching how many people are there. This year, we took off, I think there were maybe 4 streets, because 3 of them were because the fire truck had a difficult time maneuvering on them. Williams, James, over in that, it's rather difficult, and we're on the big ladder truck. The ladder?
Yeah.
Sorry. And it's difficult to make some of those turns. So, but we watch, and we'd come up on a road and we'd be like, okay, if there's nobody out, we're gonna take this one off. And we'd come up and there were like 20 people out in one front yard, so we're like, okay, staying on for next year. You know, we make mental notes of where there isn't a lot of activity and where there is a lot of activity, so that we keep we try to keep the right places on. We can't hit every street in town. I mean, as it is, it takes 3.5 hours to do what we do. There is a Glimpse app that you can follow. We had a lot of people this year, which was really nice, parked at Parking Shop, and they were out there. And I was like, that's a great idea. We had other people on the side of the road, near Pierpont, where the corn lady normally is. They were parked there. You know, unfortunately, I know it'd be nice if we could drive by everybody's house, but if we can't drive by your house, try to get to a point where, you can see us. And I do know that some people were a little upset over that, and, you know, we're trying to do the best we can, and, you know, it was a great time. The kids we saw were happy, they were having fun, they're happy to see Santa, the Grinch. This year we had Max the dog, Grinch's dog, Mrs. Claus, Frosty, and we had an elf. So it was, and it's fun up there. It was cold. It was probably the coldest day that it has been in a while, but you powered through, and you know, it was a lot of fun. It went very well. We're already thinking about next year. Working with the fire and the police, because the police do the Glimpse app, the fire, it's their fire truck, so I kind of let them handle it, because they're the ones who kind of started it. They'll keep us involved, and I think it's great. We had some candy. Not everybody got candy. That's been taken care of. That's been addressed. We'll just go with that. So, but that's okay. I mean, we're doing the best we can. And if anyone has suggestions or anything, feel free to, you know, email the rec commission, and, you know, or reach out to the selectman's office and ask them to pass it on to the rec commission, or, you know, we're open to ideas. Again, this is a group of volunteers that are giving up. Some are employees, but we're still giving up our time and doing it for the fun of it and for the kids, and even for the older people who enjoy it, because a lot of them that are very excited. So but overall it was very fun.
Good. Does it typically take that long?
It's about 3.5 hours. 3.5 to 4 hours. And George was driving the fire truck, and he was being kind by not going extremely fast when we were on 31, because that wind.
It's cold.
When you're going 30 miles an hour, it feels like 60 miles an hour on your face with the wind. But it was worth it. It was great to see the kids. So worth it to see the adults too. Everybody. So.
Since we're only 2 days away from the tree lighting, I guess we should probably talk about that.
So the tree lighting is Thursday. It's 6 o'clock here. Santa will come from the fire station down on the fire truck, and then he'll come down and he'll sit in the police lobby for the kids to come and tell Santa what they'd like, have their pictures taken. The library will be here. They're gonna offer cookie decorating in the police training room.
Okay.
The Dudley Women's Club will be here helping to hand out pizza. We have been given, Dippins and Duncan are donating hot chocolate and munchkins. They have offered to reached out and offered to donate to the Recreation Commission, to the town, basically, to the kids. And the local pizza places have all offered to donate pizza for the children.
Good.
We have something else.
Music, right?
I reached out to the band and the choir. The band could not make it, because we couldn't have them inside, because we don't have it was too chaotic with them inside last year. So plus it was the night of their banquet. I thought the chorus said they were coming, but I haven't heard anything additional, so I guess we'll see. I did also receive an email that there was a dance studio right over the line in Webster that wanted to come and do a dance. I sent an email, said, sure, would it be outside? I have very limited inside, but I've never heard anything back. So I've tried, but There are a few things that need help with.
Okay.
There is a tree downstairs in the lobby that needs to be decorated prior to Thursday. The ornaments are down there, the ladder is down there.
Okay.
I'm like,
I can probably come on tomorrow or Thursday during
Just-
the day.
yeah, that would be wonderful. Just let me know so I
Okay.
can make sure that you're okay and,
Yeah.
you know, I'll be around. I just have a lot going on right
Yeah.
now. The pizzas will need to be picked up, and the hot chocolate and items will need to be picked up. Big Al's is delivering to us. They have done that in the years past, and when he reached out, he said, absolutely, I will deliver them. I do have 2 people that will be running around, but I could use another person or 2 to help pick up. In speaking with everyone, I've asked them to be ready about 5 o'clock, because they're never ready at 5. When we've asked for 5:30 in the past, it's usually 6 o'clock, we're pulling in with pizzas, and that's chaotic, because everybody's here. So we're hoping, you know, by 5 o'clock, everything could be here by 5:30.
Okay.
And, you know, I have 2 gentlemen who will be doing the heavy lifting of Dunkin' and Dippin', because the,
Yeah.
I can do pizza.
okay,
Just let me know where and what time.
okay. Jimmy's,
Okay.
like 5:15 in that time frame. I should write this down so I know who's going.
Anywhere else?
Do you wanna do Dudley House too, since they're right near?
Yeah, I'll do
Okay,
both of them.
Okay. And you're gonna take care of Leonie's? I'm pointing at you, I apologize. Ro,
Huh?
you're gonna take care of
I'm
Leonie's?
typing, I can't do 2 things at once, yes.
Okay,
5:15.
yes,
Bro,
but you have to call it in.
dude, okay, you gotta,
Oh.
oh, you let me know what I need.
Okay, we'll talk.
Leonie's.
Okay,
No,
perfect.
these are already ordered and
Yours are all set.
Someone picking up drinks.
The police will be here to help the countdown as Santa comes down to light the tree. I have someone handling the lighting of the tree. We're good with that.
Do we
We're not having a
have,
Clark moment, are we?
So can we actually like make an announcement and stop everyone and not just have someone plug it in with no one
Yeah,
knowing the
I
tree's
know.
being lit?
That's what we're gonna try to coordinate with the police this year.
Okay.
Yep, that they do a
'Cause
countdown.
I've gotten a lot of complaints, but like just from people that I know that know
Oh,
that
I agree.
I help out with this stuff sometimes, and they're all like, no one knows the tree's being lit, and then all of a sudden it's lit and everyone goes inside.
So I think what happens is we try to get Santa coming down, try to do the countdown for Santa coming down, and then they light the tree and everything goes to chaos. But what I think should happen this year, and please tell me if I'm wrong, Santa comes down, Santa can get down off the fire truck, then we can light the tree.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's, I don't know. Parents are already like lining
I
up
was saying,
by the
I
time they
almost
see
feel like
Santa.
the
It should be
tree,
done there.
Santa either needs to go over to do the tree lighting with the tree,
Yeah.
or the tree should be lit like 5 minutes before Santa's coming.
So we can,
Just because once Santa comes off that fire truck, the kids are so excited and
They
they're
just wanna
lined
get
up,
in line.
ready
Yeah.
to run
Yeah.
inside.
and the thing is Santa needs a few minutes to get inside and get situated.
Right.
And
I would just do it without Santa. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
like maybe
I'm open
Do
to
it 5
anything.
minutes before.
Maybe do the tree lighting at 6 o'clock and then Santa like someone radios over to the fire station, trees lit, bring Santa down, and then
Don't we
Santa
usually
comes down.
light it as soon as we see him like coming to that house right next door? I think in the past it's just been lit and he comes in and sing, everyone,
Right, and
but,
it's a little,
yeah.
We could still do
it's a
the
little
same,
chaotic.
The
Yeah.
same thing, just make it known like we're gonna light the tree now.
Yeah, just make an announcement, or however you plan to have the police do it, is to bring attention to it, because the whole point of calling it a tree lighting,
And it's not.
and it, like, nobody, the tree's lit with no pomp and circumstance, and it's a come sit with Santa and get a piece of pizza,
Right,
which is awesome.
but still,
But if we're
'cause
calling it
years-
a tree lighting, we should say, okay, everyone, let's gather around the tree and light the tree,
Can we
like,
just have Santa light the tree?
that was,
You know, like, because then everyone will kind of just be like, halt, he lights the tree, and then he
And then
walks
you go
down the
in.
little walkway, and then he goes.
I guess we'll do-
People are already gonna be lined up, there's no way we can get around that. they're already gonna be in line. I mean, that, when I was here, that first year, they were already in line and Santa was coming down. So all these people were like, well, I'll just stay here because then I'll be first.
Right.
They didn't really care about seeing the tree. They were, you know?
Right.
So in your point, like, they really are just here for that. But if maybe we could give people a little bit of time, if he is the one that lights the tree.
Or how about if, when he gets here, and can you reach out to Santa?
Yeah.
Can you call the North Pole and?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get on that. It's long distance. You gonna reimburse me?
I shall.
Okay, thank you.
Perhaps when he gets here, he goes over to the police cruiser and says, does the tree count down
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
thing.
over
That's
the,
cool.
Yeah,
over the
Yeah.
loudspeaker?
yep. And then whoever you had in charge to do it
Because
will
it's
do it,
not
and
a-
then he could go in.
It's not a lighting of the tree, it's unfortunately just plugging
Right,
it in
right,
over
right,
in the
right.
corner. So nobody,
it-
it's not a grand, and that's why I think maybe having him do that.
That's a good idea.
So will you let me know if Santa will do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to ask if we don't have any chorus or band, if there's a way to like add music or anything easily without it being a big deal.
Probably. And see, you know, for the future thoughts, just think, years ago, we used to actually sing Christmas carols around the Christmas tree prior to Santa coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and it was fun,
Why can't we do that?
because I need somebody to organize it, because
So I'll just start singing and we
I have no, but that's the problem, and that's unfortunately what has happened in the past, is it had gotten down to, it was Michelle and I doing it,
Yeah.
and Michelle's running around doing the tree lighting, making sure that the tree's gonna get lit, I'm making sure Santa's not falling off the fire truck and getting him in, and there wasn't enough, it's a whole,
Yeah.
you climb up on that fire truck and then see what it's like coming down, going up is easy,
Yeah,
it's coming down, that's.
yeah. We also need somebody to stand at the door, the police side door.
Yep.
To let people in, so they don't all just run in and you have to do, somebody gets.
That's
their-
usually what I'm usually the
Okay.
one standing over
So
there.
after you help them
Usually the
down,
door
okay.
the gatekeeper.
I'm the
Yeah,
gatekeeper,
yeah,
absolutely.
We need somebody there, cause
Yep.
that was a mess.
Because we had like 30
Yeah.
kids in the police station lobby, and it's like, no, let this family have their time with Santa. You wait over here and we'll come, you try to give them each their, but would you wanna do singing?
Uh-oh, look what you did.
Sure. I mean, if someone helps me.
Oh.
I
Because-
do not want to be the one starting, but I can like bring my kids up and we can all get started. Like,
So it would have to be simple songs.
yeah, like
You know.
jingle bells and
Yep,
things like that.
yeah. I just think it adds that's what we're supposed to, I don't know, again, I'm just going back into the old days. That's what we used to do, is
Yeah.
sing,
Just like 4 songs or something.
yeah, you know what I mean? And it kept.
Mr. Landry, you can sing. I've
Okay.
heard you have a great voice.
One song,
Yeah,
like
I
the
said
tree, go
one.
see Santa, let's
Here
go.
comes Santa Claus, here
Aw,
come, and then here
yeah.
he comes. Boom.
Because you
We
keep
used to try
saying
to do
people are
that.
gonna be lined up already anyways.
Yeah, but we
But I
stand
think
there
if-
for a
but
long time.
I think if we have more going on, then people aren't gonna line up. Some are definitely gonna line up no matter what. But I think that if there was more going on while everyone's waiting, then the less people will line up, because the thing is that everyone's lining up because there's nothing else to do.
Usually
Yeah,
not.
that's true.
They're standing around and there's
Cold and
There's no-
Last year, the people that were outside, was there anyone outside with instruments, or was that 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
The ones with the instruments outside, they weren't playing, they were huddled over in a corner, and then the tree was lit, and no one knew the tree was lit, and no one announced anything, so people were just standing right in line. So I think that if there's more action, even if it's just singing a couple
Right.
carols or making a little to-do about the actual tree being lit, then kids are gonna, what with the tree, and they're gonna leave the line and go see what's going
Correct.
on, instead of, there's nothing going on, we're just waiting for the fire truck to show up, we're just gonna stand in line.
Right. And I try to tell people, it's gonna be a few minutes, it's gonna be a few minutes, you're gonna wanna go. But I think if we, start, let's say, 20 of 6, start singing.
Right.
And it has to be somebody who's willing to, I would do it, but I can't
Well,
be, and
if the chorus is coming.
that will be good, but if they're not there.
Right.
Please keep in mind, it's gonna be 20 degrees and snowing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
They have to stand outside anyways to
I
see
thought
Santa.
Thursday was gonna be in the 40s.
No,
I
it's
thought
gonna
it
be
was
cold.
supposed to be snowing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be snowing.
Oh,
I
now
just
it's
looked
snow
at it.
Thursday too?
Yeah, it's going to snow Thursday.
Okay.
So
But they have to wait outside to see Santa anyways.
But they might be coming in later than 20 minutes
So
before.
how about started at, depending, judge the
We'll see.
crowd.
Okay.
That's what I
That's
would do.
smart.
We'll
Judge
judge
the
the
crowd.
Smart.
Because I remember at the Old Town Hall, I went to a tree lighting with my son when he was a wee bit of a lad. And it was snowing and we stood out singing Christmas carols in the snow before they lit the tree, and it was just like he thought it was the best thing ever. Now he would be like, yeah, right. But,
Yeah.
Would Frosty or the Grinch be able to come goof around with the kids before Santa
so
arrived?
if my understanding is correct, Frosty's unavailable,
Yep.
but there will be perhaps a magician.
Oh. Oh, what's his name from Rudolph? That magician?
Yeah. Perhaps there may be someone inside doing some magic tricks and things.
Well, I
That's-
mean, like outside while the kids are waiting.
I
like,
don't
for
know
the-
if the Grinch is going to be there or not.
I just it like just something like to interact with the kids to kind of keep them intrigued as to what's coming, to keep them from just getting in line and being bored and driving their parents nuts.
Well, I think that's gonna happen anyhow, but.
Well, it's gonna happen.
It
anyway.
has, I saw it happen, and you can't.
I'm just trying to
They're
think
so
of other
excited,
ways
I
to
know.
like if the Grinch was walking around and like playing tricks on people, or Frosty was walking around giving people high fives and interacting with the littles, like
Yeah.
it would engage them just enough to keep them wanting to be part of the the bigger part where the tree is, and not as like, is Santa here yet? Is Santa here? They're gonna be like that anyway, but just something to take that edge off.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, there is going to be a special guest, but I believe they're going to be inside, a special character.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But let me check. Frosty was not available,
No.
correct?
Mm-hmm. Nope.
And let me check on the Grinch.
It's just an idea. I mean, even,
Yeah, no,
even
I-
if we get it for this year,
I'm
maybe
all
for
for-
next year.
And this is what we, definitely, and where we have more people available, it's going to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to have.
Nominate you to be the Frosty.
You know, it's heartfelt, the Grinch. You gotta say it. Go ahead.
The Grinch.
He had a spot already. Frosty. You wanna be the Grinch?
Mark's too nice to be the
I
Grinch.
know, so nice, so nice.
So that's, and hoping that it goes well,
Yeah.
and we'll.
Oh, I was gonna ask, do you have, is it Debbie who does the photos?
Yes, she will be here.
Okay.
Yep, because the Dudley Women's Club will be here.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody track the food, how much is left over at the end
Yes.
of the night? And if it's too much,
Yes,
all right, thank you.
yep. I'm good about that,
All right,
very good about that.
it was brought up, so.
Yes, no, yep, absolutely.
I think it's a great idea. And I like trying to I do like your idea, trying to keep them focused over here.
Absolutely.
As long
Yeah.
as possible. That is smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we don't need like a ton of stuff, just something just to intrigue them.
Absolutely.
What we did one year was, we passed out paper,
Yep.
construction paper, and crayons or pencils or whatever, and they started writing their letter. And
Yeah,
that
that's
worked
cute.
for like a half a second when they were like, oh, my hands are cold now, and then the parents were doing it, and it was like, no, so it worked a little bit, so that was one thing that we could try to do again, but I don't know.
But I think we need something around the tree, and to keep, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
over, and
Keep the attention over
Mm-hmm,
it's difficult that, I like that the tree is there, but there's no easy access to people to stand
Right.
around the tree,
Yeah.
there. Right.
which is but at least I know that the shrubs have been trimmed back and stuff, so, and there'll be lights over there, lights, not just the Christmas lights, real lights. So people should be able to go up, because we used to go up and stand around the tree, even here, and sing. And that's when the Boy Scouts would come
Yeah.
and sing Christmas carols.
yeah.
The sign out front, is there any way to utilize that to display nice lights or something and while we're there?
1 second, I'll find out.
That's the boss.
Quick question, do you do the sign out front?
No, Double Parker does. I do the website.
Oh,
I'm sure there is a way, okay, just to make it look pretty with lights for the night of the tree lighting.
She figured out how to do, some sort of graphics because on Veterans Day, she had the flag moving.
Perfect, I will email her, thank you.
So she figured out the graphics somehow on the sign.
Okay.
Like some Christmas lights
Right.
on the sign
That'd be neat.
during tree lighting, prior and after. Okay, I'll email her tomorrow.
Beautiful.
That works beautiful. So, and if you guys think of anything else that you can think of to do out near the tree, feel free. You know, just shoot me an email and be like, hey. And just somebody please stand facing the tree with your back to the road so that nobody goes past you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So that no kids are running towards the road.
Oh,
Oh.
So that's my, you know, be like the gatekeeper.
yeah.
Like I am at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Please,
Okay.
please. And everyone will get a chance to see Santa. We'll make a last call,
Yep.
you know, last call for Santa.
He's getting tired, but, all right.
So, thank you.
Mhm.
Do we wanna talk about the town yard sale, like put a date on the calendar, or do we wanna push that off?
I want, you think doing it in June again?
I think consistency is key to be able to get a following.
Yeah. So we'll aim for that June.
It's like the 20s.
Last year was the 23rd, I think.
June 22nd. So. June 21st.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
We at least have a date.
Or
and-
do we wanna do it earlier in June? Cause last year we started planning it late and we had all said we wish we could've done it at the beginning of June, but it wasn't enough time to plan.
The only thing with the beginning of June is you have graduations
Mhm.
and graduation parties.
True.
Oh, yeah.
And this way, school's probably out.
Yeah,
And,
Okay.
you know.
I think that's better.
And for the next meeting, think of anything that you wanna possibly bring to the yard sale
Okay.
and make it bigger, better,
Yep.
because we're starting earlier, much earlier.
Okay. Let's
Bless you.
see.
Thank you.
Are there any miscellaneous items that aren't on the agenda that we wanna talk about?
Just the date of the next meeting,
Oh, yeah.
so we can have something in place, hoping that we get something from him and we can make a decision.
Okay.
So I
So-
would say like the third, he said early January.
Yeah, he said he'd have something to us early January, so I'd say.
Maybe cause it's the first, I'm just going by the first Tuesday is the 7th, the second Tuesday is the 14th. That should be enough time, I would think, that's like middle of, does that work?
Yeah.
Sorry, here I am.
The
just-
14th? Tuesday, the 14th, you're
Yes,
saying?
yeah.
Yes, I can make sure there's nothing on that day. Is there another day just in case? Cause I know we had some issues with.
I can't do the 21st because I have Board of Health. But that doesn't mean that you guys can't.
You should be all set for the 14th.
Okay.
Usually the second Tuesday, there's not a lot going on for
Okay.
meetings.
So we'll try for 5:30 again?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And if not, do we wanna look into that following Monday?
Did we leave Mondays? We went to Tuesdays because of the holiday, right? That
Well,
had?
we had
Yeah,
been
'cause
on
Columbus Day
Tuesdays.
was on, they were on Mondays before and then we moved it to Tuesday because of
Yeah.
Columbus Day.
Oh, do we wanna move back to Mondays or
Mondays
keep
are
on
hard
Tuesday?
because the selectmen have meetings every other Monday, and
Yeah.
sometimes more than that, every Monday, depending on. And they might be meeting a little bit more, depending on what's coming up in February, so I think we
Agreed.
should stay on a Tuesday for that.
Okay.
That's smart.
Sounds good.
Just trying to think of everything here.
Yes, good. Alright, I'll just confirm that date and let you know.
Perfect.
Alright,
Make a motion to adjourn?
I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Um, The Recreation Commission's adjourned at 7:06.
Amanda, we're done. Sorry. We adjourned and everything, yes.